Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma, I'm a criminologist and I am a mother. So in this one I want to talk about how we have advanced AI technology and it's kind of remitting our lives as we know it. As we get older, I've noticed a lot of travelling that takes place. Now this is under an aspect of Scientology and AI, okay? So this is how we have to see this. And we've got to think that if things keep playing over and over again, we have to remember that elders came before us, okay? So this is like how you can explain certain events that take place in our lives that we can't explain, okay? And there was already an obstruction taking place because we either knew each other or came in contact with each other at some point in our lives already, right? So this is how you can tell that an aspect of familiarity can be placed with an aspect of anything, really, to combine that and create a space and time which we seem to be going back to, but it's only to stop you on your forward march to wherever you need to be. And if someone else has taken your lessons, then you don't learn them lessons as well, so you don't learn, okay? So it's almost like we can take that role because somebody else has already done that. So you got to think, if you believe in things like, the way I see this is that spirits leave when the injustice has been resolved. So this is like the conspiracy of like ghosts and stuff. I don't necessarily agree or believe it because I haven't seen any. I've only seen aspects of like a time travel understanding. But I will say that if it was to quash that understanding that maybe spirits leave when justifications take place, then that's when the 5D realm sort of clears up and the souls can leave. But it's almost like they're all stuck because there's aspects of injustice taking place on a plane, and it just keeps overriding and reworking. And I see that under like a Scientology, but I think this world is AI. To a degree it's AI. It has to be. And this is how we can fall into like seeing things, like being a seer or seeing into certain things. So AI could just be like a computer game, or it could just be literally a moment in time from the past brought forward, and we're all experiencing something that happened to little Johnny at school, who went and got, I think, at school, for example, we were like, that's really old. So, for example, I went to a really old school. It's really old. It was a boys' school, okay, for a start, in a hospital. So if it was a boys' school and it was a home, it was where they slept, okay, what kind of experiences were taking place, okay? So we've got to remember that spirituality, a lot of unjustifications could have taken place in that building, yeah? And we might be able to feel that as well. And also, it can linger if it's not been dealt with, right? So that's one reason, one cause I can think, oh, it's just taking place and we're just sitting there understanding the position that why is this taking place. And then you get the ramifications of understanding that it could have been a past experience, but we're all experiencing it now for some reason. Maybe it's because there's an overarching factor that's controlling that experience, right? And it was already conducted by people that were bad in the past, and it's almost like we're seeing it like it's us. We're seeing it like it's us, even though it's not us. It's like a 5D spiritual playback, right? Then these are the traps, okay? So this is what I wanted to sort of like bring to you today, because I've noticed that as well, the AI can actually be used to reinforce that, to make people walk away from their positions and their power, right? What they had. It can be used to stop us from becoming and being with who we're supposed to be with, okay? And it can stop us from coming in contact with the people who we're supposed to come in contact with our whole lives, just so they can redirect it the way they want to redirect it. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because, like, I've had dream states in my childhood, but it's a deja vu. It becomes a deja vu. So it's like a dream state, and then you have a deja vu about it. Oh, I think I've had it before. Yeah, because you've dreamt about it, and then you've dreamed about it, and then it's happened. And then what they've done is they've been able to access our brains, okay, through AI, right? And they've just channeled it back. Well, what were we doing? We're learning something. But what can happen is it can be overrode, okay, by events that have taken place in that room, situations, occurrences, anything that could have happened in that room. That it's almost like it's bringing together, and it's just like, why is this taking place? And it's because they want to unjustify people in this plane for no reason. Okay, so this is how you can say you get downloads and they're not actually true downloads, or then you might get false downloads, right? Or you might just be closed off completely, right? And it's a form of protection maybe for yourself. But for example, when I've experiences, and usually what can happen is that the injustifications take place. They want to blame somebody and they pin it on that person, because so that person doesn't get any help, right? Even if they didn't do anything wrong, right? Even if they didn't do anything wrong, that's serious, because obviously that's a crime. But no one's regulating the AI. I can see that it was already taken out. Okay, so things were already removed from that position. People were already taken over the place. They said to have power, right? So why is this taking place? And it is because they want to justify you ultimately, and there's a reason, and it's to stop you from being who you are supposed to be, right? And it's true, and there's a reason, and it's because he didn't choose me, right? And the reality is, it doesn't matter, because I'm not here to like be with a specific person, okay? That's the truth. Okay, because I'm not here to be with a specific person, because I've got like 9 kings anyway. And the reality is that why do I have 9 kings? Well, because it's a chakra point, it's your systems as well, and it's your lessons that you're learning with these people. I'm not talking about the inversions, I'm talking about the versions. Okay? So you can have love for somebody in your heart. That's normal. So what they can do is invert that, which is what they've been doing, right? So they're under aspects of this is conducted through aspects of hypnosis, and they take advantage through those spaces, because they don't want us to have a truth. They don't want us to be justified. So there's a lot of mess on the plane, and it overlaps itself. So like if bad things have happened, you might be able to see it. So I saw, for example, a boy being whipped with his hands out when he was being whipped. I was like, what the hell? But I didn't see that until I saw that when I was walking out of the classroom once. And another time, which is a school, I saw a little boy in the library running around. I was like, I didn't tell anyone. I was just like, I could see a little boy running around. I was like, who is he? I went to chase him. I couldn't find him. Right? So it looked like the same boy, but he was there, right? He was running around, right? So I can see, I didn't go into the library after that. That's where the hospital beds were. So the boy slept, right? It was very quiet in there, but there was an energy there that I didn't quite like. It wasn't a calming place to sit. I'm just going to be honest. And so like, you can change that about the room as well. Like you can change them things about a space. Like we know that happened. Bring peace to that child. This is how it's done. Like this is the Kabbalah as well. So say that little boy that I saw, right, when I was in the classroom once, and then there was a little boy in the library, right? This is the reality. We have to look at this. Is that if this is taking place when I was only like 12, right? What is taking, why am I seeing that? Okay, so it was either already predetermined and spirits aren't real and it's the AI passing through us, has something to do with time traveling, or it has something to do with being spiritual. So let's get into that, because this is the one that really always made me question, this isn't real. A spiritual connotation isn't real, but it might have been to show me something different. It might have been there to see, because I could see it. But I don't know if it's just a random boy, or if it was something that there was more to this. And I saw certain things take place in there, and I didn't like it, right? We was already told about this. So I do believe that there was something, because I always had a dream about a little boy, and he always he wanted mothering, and it was like his connection there with this boy, and it was like I needed to nurse him, mother him, because it was almost like he hadn't have a mum, or he was hurt when he was there. And eventually, he kept coming back to me. So this little boy, I don't know who he is, but it's interesting, because maybe it's experiences, okay? Maybe it's experiences that are being that we can see, and they're just actually other people's around us. Maybe it's other people's traumas that we're seeing, okay, like projections of traumas that we're seeing. I think that sometimes we can understand how we heal through those spaces, and that's the point I'm trying to make, because as a child, we need a mother, we need mothers, right, and we need a father. We don't need to be in education all the time. We need that family unit. That's more important than the education, because you can learn with your family too. You can learn family with your family. Okay, so it's not completely broken when you don't. When a child chooses, when you choose to family over education, because we were talking about putting the children in for longer periods of time, wasn't there? I don't think that's happening now. But the reality is that when this comes about, the AI, because I never saw a lot when I was younger. I never saw things when I was a kid. Okay, so I had dreams, but I never saw anything. And the only time I ever had like a sad experience was when I saw this, when I saw the damage of that child, and I was only young myself. Honestly, it felt like I was it felt like he needed me, and so but he was like he played. He was like he was showing me he plays, and he was showing in the library, for example, running away and stuff like that, right? So this is real. I'm not lying, right? But it's breaking my heart thinking about it, because I was only like 24 or something when he came back, and it's like I knew that it was a program. Okay, so it was like I saw certain times in my life back then, I knew it was a program. It was programmed in on purpose. But I don't know if it was just a download that we both got, and it was somebody, and it was like he was being hurt when he was younger. But this is the reality. Like, how can you heal those spaces where somebody's literally like does it look like he was being caned? Okay, it looked like he was being caned, and he got caned down his behind and caned on his hands. So this is what they used to do at school, right? This is what they used to do at bloody school, right? I was a Chiron Taurus era, maybe, right? They stopped after that because they believed they all needed tougher measurements for schools, right? So that's what they did I think it was Karen and Taurus, eventually where it stopped. But a lot of the teachers were corrupt back then. They would whip them and they would abuse them, right? So it kind of reminds me of that and how we heal from that position. So we rise to a heart and then self-love, and it's like the blossom tree, and it's like when everything's broken, but it's over now, I am healed. And then we rise from our love, our hearts, and we take it with us. And we love ourselves for our inner, we love ourselves, our child self, right? Because we couldn't change that. But that doesn't make you bad. That just means that them people are bad. And it's almost like we can see it taking place. And it's like, why would, because it was almost like I walked past it, but then when I got the memory back, it was almost like I was the bad one when I wasn't. So it was strange, because it's almost like everything's triangulated to make us all fight each other. And the reality is that it was never about that. It was never about fighting with each other, but it's about triangulation tactics to stop us from healing, okay? So this is the main reality to this conversation I want to have with you, is that people can stop us from healing in positions of power, right? But it's not a power, okay? It's a weakness. When you take someone's healing, it's a weakness, okay? But I don't think they realise it's back to front, because you don't find your power in you if you're going around making people feel like crap. You're not healing. You're not healed. You're not a healed person, okay? So you probably need some work. Like, you probably need to change job role as well if you're being told to do these things. Okay, so it's kind of like, because I know what happened when I was younger, and then I know what's happening now. So like, I can see that there's a break in something that's taking place, and there was a reason for that, and it wasn't to protect me, and it wasn't to heal me. Okay, it wasn't to, whoever was dominating there. So like, for example, it's Coxie admin in school. So that would have been the Coxie admin that would have been up to it, wouldn't it? Right? So the reality is that they see that as well. But how do you change that if the people in power are the ones doing it? Do you just walk away? Or do you stick around and see what else is going on? Because the reality is that sometimes it's not you in these AI push-throughs, okay? So sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's not them, sometimes it's not you. Sometimes we're in a position where we're trying to escape something, but we're hiding. It doesn't make any sense either. So, like, the reality is that you have to discern, because, like, I've been involved with higher ups, right? Well, if you've been at school, that's a higher up, So the reality is that you've got to see it for what it is, okay? Because you can have mental health issues for this. People can push mental health issues on you. Like, it's almost like, oh, I'm the bad one, when you're not the bad one, right? They're just doing it on purpose because they want to win. Win what? Don't know. They're not winning anything. Are they healing? No. They're not healing anything. Are they healing themselves? Actually, no. They're not healing anyone. They're not even healing themselves, because they don't see what they've lost in the wreckage of trying to destroy someone else's lives.